Next topic is about void agreement and void contract. Void agreement is an agreement not enforceable by law. A contract which is not recognized by law. There can be no action instituted in a court of law to claim rights against parties. Void agreement is void right from the day the agreement is constructed, while a void contract becomes void at a later stage. In a void contract, the voidness creeps because of some incident or change in circumstances which is not through the fault of the parties. Void agreements have been specifically stated in Chapter 2 of the Act under Sections 11, 20, 23, 30 and 56. No specific mention has been made for a void contract and or any chapter of the Act. We can just notify the difference between void agreement and void contract. That is, void agreement is void from the very beginning itself, but a void contract is valid when made and continues to remain valid till it is repudiated by the aggrieved party. It becomes unenforceable later on. And void agreement is void because an essential element of a valid contract is missing. And void contract, it is voidable because the consent of a party is not free. And void agreement is, it cannot be enforced by any party, but a void contract continues to be enforceable if the aggrieved party does not repudiate the contract. But a void agreement, a third party does not acquire any rights for a void agreement. But a third party who purchases goods in good faith and free for consideration before the contract is repudiated acquires good little title of those goods. And next thing we are going to discuss is about coercion. Coercion is defined as under section 15. That is, coercion is using force for creating circumstances wherein the other party's consent is not free. It might be through through taking some property, doing something which is an offense under IPC. The purpose of these things should be to get the other party's consent. Next one is techniques of causing coercion. A coercion consent is said to be caused by coercion when it is obtained by some act which compels the other party. Threatening or doing something which is a crime under IPC, or seizing or confining someone. An illustration under the first category would be consent given at the point of a knife, or by threatening to injure someone, or by intimidation, or by threatening to destroy a man's property. An example of the second type will be a case where the plaintiff had pledged his plate with the defendant for $20. When he went to redeem it, the pledge insisted that an additional $20 internet was also owed. The plaintiff paid this to redeem his plate and then sued to recover it back. The court allowed it, and defendant had taken advantage of the situation and extracted an amount which is not lawful. And next topic is about undue influence. This is defined under section 16. It is using one's position to influence the decision of the other person to his prejudice. There is a subtle difference between fraud and undue influence. The party is able to persuade because of the relation they share, or he enjoys a certain degree of confidence of the other person. What amounts to apply undue influence on someone? Sometimes the parties to an agreement are so related to each other that one of them is able to apply undue influence to the expression of choice, willingness and consent of the other. The person who is in commanding position may use his position and the trust that the other person responds repose on him or to his advantage. By advantage, we mean to cause the other person to express his assent to the proposal. It is the nature of the relationship that a sine qua quote is not in term in these types of cases, which enables one party to be at a superior position. For example, a spiritual advisor, for example, in the case induced the blatant devotee to gift him the whole of his property to secure benefits of his soul, the next world. Such consent is said to be obtained by undue influence. This is examined this form of prudent man's point of view, where in the absence of the relationship, a prudent man would have done the same thing. This is all about undue influence. Thank you.